Good morning, everyone. We're going to start our service this morning with a song by Heather Pearson. The words will be up on the screen. If you're familiar with the tune, you could sing along or you can just listen.
Welcome. I was supposed to say good morning first, then I got stuck. Good morning, and welcome to the home of the Unitarian Universalism, Central Washington. I'm glad you're here. My name is Marya, Madsen, and I'll be your celebrant this morning. Better? Shall I start again? I can't do the glasses part, you guys. It's very confusing. Lynn Madsen is our worship leader today. Oh, and Maite and I are celebrating together. We are a faith that believes in radical hospitality. If you are a visitor, we are so glad you are here. We welcome every person of goodwill, whatever your beliefs or faith. They enrich our community. Who and how you love and where you come from and how you live, if those are not familiar to us, we welcome the opportunity to learn. We invite you all to continue our communion and conversation and refreshments following the service, both here in the church and on Zoom. For the folks on Zoom, you'll find the order of service and song lyrics in the chat. For everyone in the building, please take a moment to turn and wave to everyone on Zoom. And now please take a moment and greet those around you today, especially someone you don't know well. Thank you for being here with us today and being so pleased to greet each other. I have a bazillion announcements, so I'm going to get started as you find your space. There will be a discussion after the service today to learn about soul collage, an easy, intuitive collage activity for self-discovery and building community. Shannon Eisert and Deb Miller will lead the discussion following coffee here in the sanctuary. The board is seeking members for the new building design task force. This includes working with the architect on the floor plan, exterior and site plan, and ensuring the design fits our budget. If you are interested and have applicable skills, send an email to Julie McAllister outlining your skills. The board will review candidates to determine selection for the task force. Thank you for your interest. You will have been given a social justice survey this morning as you came in. The social justice team organizes Share the Plate donations, forums, and workshops on social justice issues that the congregation identifies as priorities. If you don't have one, I'm sure you can find one after the service. Please use this forum to rank the social issues you feel are the most important. Directions are on the survey. The social justice team will use the survey to determine Share the Plate recipients for the upcoming liturgical year. Our annual celebration potluck will be held Saturday, April 19th, 5:30 to 8:30 at the Wenatchee Museum and Cultural Center. There are details about what to bring and how you can help in the newsletter and on the website, and please get in touch with Linda Harrington to RSVP and sign up to volunteer. We are in the middle of our annual pledge campaign, and today Rebecca Lyons will share her thoughts about why our fellowship is important and worth supporting.
So good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, good. I have a tendency because of my hearing to speak very loud, so sorry if I blow your ears away. I was really honored when Rita asked me a couple days ago if I would speak this morning about why I pledge. And it's always good to have to take a step back and think about something that you've been doing for so many years. I moved to Wenatchee in 2001 and became a member here shortly after that. And, CUF has been a part of my life through the ebbs and flows, as we all have them, right? And you hopefully all have met my beautiful daughter, Marya, who I adopted in 2026, and so many of you remember welcoming her here into the CUF family, and truly it is a family. And again, when my husband and Marya's father, Greg, passed away 5 years ago, you guys showed up. It's a community, and I feel so blessed to be part of this community. And I feel accepted, and I cannot emphasize how important that is. And just for all of us, I hope you feel the same way. I hope you feel that you are a part of this community. And yesterday I have to say that it was so encouraging when I went to the protest, the hands-off protest at Memorial Park, and I just went by myself. I was going to meet somebody there, but it was like, I just found myself going from CUF group to CUF group, right? Because you were all there, you show up, and that's what's so important about this group. We show up. We need this fellowship here in the Valley. I need this fellowship here in the Valley to be a strong voice of sanity in these really crazy times. And there's so many causes I believe in. Wow, it's going to be very, very difficult for me to list on that list which is my most important, because they are all important. And I just don't have enough bandwidth to be as active in all of those causes that I would like. But I know that through this fellowship, we will be there, right? We'll show up. And so I pledge, because I feel that this is such an important part of not only my life, but the Valley and this life, the life of this Valley. And I want CUF to continue to grow and be strong so that my daughter can live in a healthy and just world that values dignity and worth of all people, and not just those in power and those with money.
Our fellowship is located on the ancestral homeland of the Pasquosa. For thousands of years, the Pasquosa have lived here, making a vibrant way of life and a rich culture from the land, the beings and human neighbors with whom they shared it. How do we live in difficult times? The Chickasaw poet, Linda Hogan, takes a long view. It was the time before I was born. I was thin, I was hungry, I was only a restlessness inside a woman's body. Above us, lightning split open the sky. Below us, wagon wheels cut land in two. Around us were the soldiers, young and afraid, who did not trust us with scissors or knives, but with needles. Tear dresses, they were called, because settler cotton was torn in straight lines like the roads we had to follow to Oklahoma. But when the cloth was torn, it was like tears, impossible to hold back, and so they were called by this other name for our weeping. I remember the women. Tonight they walk out from the shadows with black dogs, children, the dark, heavy horses, and worn-out men. They walk inside me. This blood is a map of the road between us. I am why they survived. The world behind them did not close. The world before them is still open. All around me are my ancestors, my unborn children. I am the tear between them, and both sides live. The Pasquosas still live here, are still practicing their cultural traditions, and are still working to have their rights restored and treaty obligations fulfilled. We have said that we will help them. For more on this subject, please visit our website, cascadeuu.org, under Welcome. For opening song. For many of us, our connection to nature is a source of joy and solace and wonder. To pleasure our senses, a respite from the cares of busyness. It can also be a reminder that we are all connected, all a part of the continuous movement of matter and energy that makes up our world. We need this, especially when times are hard. Now, let us rise in body and spirit to sing our opening song, Blue Boat Home by Peter Mayer.
Good morning. Hard times. How many of you are scared? Depressed? Have some despair in your heart at times? Yeah. Most of you know, some of you may not, in my day job, I'm a therapist. People come to me, and they mostly come to me to deal with trauma, difficult relationships. And yet, over the past couple of months, what I find is that I have a bunch of those people abandoning those issues to talk about, how the heck am I going to do this? My kids are asking, is daddy going to get taken? Right? Can I? We're planning a vacation. Do we dare go on the plane? My job is gone. It's a hard time. Now, when I was a kid in school, I never took notes. But I've learned that sometimes it's helpful. Today you got an index card as you came in and a pencil. We're going to hopefully end up by the end of today with each of you having written down some things that you can do. Some things that you can do to help yourself, to help us maintain our hope, maintain our resilience, and figure out exactly what it is that we can do in these challenging and difficult times. Our opening words today are from Marge Piercy, from her poem, To Be of Use. I love people who harness themselves as an ox to a heavy cart, who pull like water buffalo with massive patience, who strain in the mud and the muck to move things forward, who do what has to be done again and again. The work of the world is common as mud. Botched, it smears the hands and crumbles to dust. But the thing worth doing well done has a shape that satisfies. Greek amphoras for wine or oil, Hopi vases that held corn are put in museums, but you know, they were made to be used. The pitcher cries for water to carry, and a person for work that is real.
Around the world, you are gathered, and by lighting the flame in the chalice, we are recommitting to our values and covenants. In difficult times, we need reminding that we're not alone. Join us now in saying these words by Lisa Garcia Sampson, which you can find on the screen, in the chat, or in your order of service. And then I will light the chalice. Do you want to do it? In these wild, historic, and uncertain times, we gather to remember who we are, who we belong to, and what we are called to do. As we light this chalice, we kindle the spirit of the great turning, the movement for justice alive in this nation today. May we feel it in our bones, and in the stillness of this hour, may we sense it calling our name.
Now is the time for all ages Any children who would like to can come up and sit and as I read our book. This is Make-A-Wish by Tara and Shannon. But I'm afraid, said Rabbit. What are you afraid of? Asked Bear. I don't know, replied Rabbit. I just am. Then I will sit with you until you are not afraid anymore, said Bear. We will face it together. The future seems so far away and scary, said Rabbit. Keep faith, said Bear. Things have a way of working out. What matters most is now. I feel lost, said Rabbit. Then I'll be lost too, said Bear. We can't both be lost, said Rabbit. Why not? Asked Bear. How will we be found? Asked Rabbit. Well, it seems to me that if we're lost together, we will have already found all that we need, said Bear. I feel helpless, said Rabbit. Then you should help someone, said Bear. Is all hope lost? Asked Rabbit. Listen to the robin's song and look at the flowers in bloom, said Bear. Hope is not lost, it is returning. Why do things break? Asked Rabbit. Sometimes things need to break so that they can be made stronger, said Bear. What's the hardest thing you've ever had to do? Asked Rabbit. Say goodbye, said Bear. Who should I be? Asked Rabbit. Be yourself, said Bear. Only you know how to do that. We are so different, said Rabbit. Yes, said Bear, but our hearts still beat the same. What can make me happy? Asked Rabbit. You, said Bear. How? Asked Rabbit. Choose to be happy with yourself, even the parts you don't like, said Bear. That doesn't sound hard, said Rabbit. It might be the hardest thing you ever do, said Bear, but it will be worth it. I don't understand, said Rabbit. Do you want me to be happy? Of course. But it doesn't matter what I want, said Bear. You are your only obstacle on the way to your own happiness. Realize that, and lasting happiness can be yours. What are you going to do if you catch one? Asked Bear. Ask how much darkness it had to go through before it was able to shine so bright, said Rabbit. I invite the people sitting along the center aisle to please rise and form an arch so our children can go to their classes as we sing to one another. Now go with each other to find meaning in the spirit of love that we share. Now go with each other to find meaning in the spirit of love that we share.
here are 2 poems that speak to how to handle difficult times and circumstances. From Evidence by Marya Oliver. There are many ways to perish or to flourish. How old pain, for example, can stall us at the threshold of function. Still, friends, consider a stone that is without the fete of gravity and water that is without anxiety. And the pine trees that never forget their recipe for renewal. And the female wood duck who is looking this way and that way for her children. And the snapping turtle who is looking this way and that way also. This is the world. And consider always, every day, the determination of the grass to grow despite the unending obstacles. What Can They Do by Marge Piercy. What can they do to you? Whatever they want. They can set you up, they can bust you, they can break your fingers, they can burn your brain with electricity, blur you with drugs till you can't walk, can't remember, they can take your child, wall up your lover. They can do anything you can't stop them from doing. How can you stop them? Alone you can fight, you can refuse, you can take what revenge you can, but they roll over you. But 2 people fighting back to back can cut through a mob, a snake dancing file can break a cordon, an army can meet an army. 2 people can keep each other sane, give support, conviction, love, massage, hope, sex. 3 people are a delegation, a committee, a wedge. With 4, you can play bridge and start an organization. With 6, you can rent a whole house, eat pie for dinner with no seconds, and hold a fundraising party. A dozen make a demonstration. 100 fill a hall. 1,000 have solidarity and your own newsletter. 10,000 power and your own paper. 100,000 your own media. 10 million your own country. It goes on one at a time. It starts when you care to act. It starts when you do it again when they said no. It starts when you say we and know who you mean. And each day you mean one more. Write it down on your card.
We are all responsible for the caring ministry of our fellowship. Throughout the month, our congregational care team works to encourage and coordinate the work of the ministry. The care team representative today is Bill. In the 70s, what can you say? You can tell him of any needs you are aware of. You can also fill out one of the contact cards, which can be found in the pouch in the back of the seats or in the rear of the sanctuary. As part of our communal ministry, we take time every week to give folks an opportunity to share events or experiences that have moved them in a deeply personal way. This is a time of reverence, an opportunity to open the door to a deeper connection. An opportunity for the fellowship to create and hold space for those of us who choose to share. If there's something in your heart you wish to share, come forward, take a stone from one of the baskets and place it with the other. Tell us your name and let us know in just a few words what it is on your heart this morning. Bless you, Ronnie. Have you heard anything yet today that you want to put on your index card? Have you heard anything in a poem? Deb, what did you hear?
Something that I heard that I can hold space for years in particular, but holding space.
Anybody else? Show up and do what I can. Yes. Anybody else? Louise? Help someone. If you feel helpless, that's right. Bear said, if you feel helpless, help someone. Absolutely. Yeah. Right. Choose to be happy with yourself, even the things that you don't like. All right. So Richard Rohr is a Franciscan priest, and he runs the Center for Contemplation down in Albuquerque. When you get your "who am I" question right, all of your "what should I do" questions tend to take care of themselves. Right? Who am I? Who am I? Here's another one from him. All great spirituality teaches about letting go of what you don't need and who you are not. Right? All of this other stuff. I'm a therapist. That's a job I have. The who I am about that probably wouldn't matter if I had that job or not. The who I am is somebody who sees people's pain and needs to do something about it. What I have is a job, and a job that makes me money. Right? All great spirituality teaches about letting go of what you don't need and who you are not. Then when you can get little enough and naked enough and poor enough, you'll find that the little place where you really are is ironically more than enough and is all that you need. At that place, you will have nothing to prove to anybody and nothing to protect. Does that make sense? Right? When we strip it all down. If I take everything away, what are you going to hold on to the most? What are we going to hold on to the most? Because a lot of this is under threat. As Elliot said, yeah, your 401k took a hit, right? Some of our democratic institutions seem to be creaking under the weight of this. We are watching people, the sign that I took to the protest, was just, it makes me crazy. Our government is disappearing people. Right? This is no different than Pinochet or any place else, right? We're hauling them off the street, people in masks, taking them off the street, getting rid of them. This is all very scary. So what do we do? So I have 5 questions. Who am I? What do I believe in? What do I believe in? And that's a big question. When I ask that question, I'm thinking about, like, what are the principles that I believe in? But I'm also thinking about, what do I believe in spiritually? What do I care about spiritually? How am I connected to something larger than myself in a spiritual way? What do I believe in? Who am I connected to? Right? Who are the people that I love? Today we were rehearsing, and it brought me to tears because I was up here with these musicians and watching, Marya and Maite and Sarah and Kathy singing and all swaying together just perfectly. And I mean, the fact that I love these people and the fact that they were doing the music together and it sounded, the harmonies were so sweet and the music all went together. And it brought me to tears. Right? Who am I connected to? What do I value? Right? Robin Wall Kimmerer, who wrote Braiding Sweetgrass, talks about, and I've mentioned this before, it just sticks with me, the seven fires prophecy, in which, in the time of the seventh fire, there will be destruction. There will be destruction. That's the prophecy. And the people who are living at the time of the seventh fire will be called upon to save what they can. We have to save what we can to bring it forth into this next iteration of the world. And she said, that's a completely overwhelming task to think about that. It's completely overwhelming. She said, we don't have to think about everything. You don't have to rescue everything. You have to rescue what you care about. Just what you care about. Right? The last question is, what can I do? We showed up, Unitarians, lots of other people, showed up at the protests. We made signs, some of us sang songs. Right? We stood out there and we said, hands off, hands off. We sent postcards to legislators. We're making phone calls. There are things that we can do. There are things that we can do globally, and so we need to think about. We need to align, who am I? What do I believe in? Who am I connected to? What do I value? With what can I do? Those are the things that we think about that have both a positive effect on the world. When I think about what can I do, when I treasure my family, when I treasure my marriage, when I treasure my community, and I act on that. Right? Today it feels so good to be up here. It feels so good to be talking to you all. It felt really good yesterday to be there. Right? So that connection can help us. It can tell us a little bit about what to do. But we also can use these things to fend off that sense of hopelessness, that despair that comes over us. Right? We can use that love in our hearts that we have for other people. Right? I make music. I work in my shop. I make things with my hands. When I am doing that, I am less concerned about what I'm hearing on the news. Right? How many of you are regulating your news intake these days? Just one tip, this is a Brene Brown thing. What you see has a bigger impact than what you read. So if you would like to reduce the impact of the news, don't watch it on the tube, right? Or Facebook, or wherever you can see those reels, those images, right? If you want to reduce that impact and still have the information, you can read it. One of the reasons I had handed out these cards today was because at times like these, we really need a plan. It's so easy to get lost in it all. The news is coming at us, the events, the news itself, it's not the news, it's the events that are coming at us so fast and so furiously. We can easily get lost. And so it's really important at times like this, when our adrenaline is running high, when we feel the despair or the hopelessness or the fear or whatever it is really important to have a plan, to be able to look at something and say, what can I do right now? Oh, right? There are 743 million guided meditations on YouTube for free. There's a variety of quality about that, but you can, believe me, you can find them, right? When are you going to get outside? When are you going to get outside, and where are you going to go? Where are the places that are important to you? Mary has to go look at the wildflowers, right? That is a spiritual thing that she does. It better be on the plan, and there better be a time set aside for it. Who is it that you love? Right? Where's the plan? When are you going to spend time with them, and what are you going to be doing with them? In our family, we like to eat and cook. Yeah. So we're going to do some of those things. There are typical things that we all know how to do. We know how to do a gratitude practice. Is it on the list? Right? Is it in there? What do we care about, and how do we support that? Do we have a plan for that? We show up at the protests. Is there something more we can do? If we have financial resources, who would we like to support and why? How do we link that to our values? How do we link that to what I believe in and who I am? When we align those things, we become a much more powerful and effective advocate. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. I am looking at the clock. I'm going to talk about one more thing, and then I'm going to have you talk to each other for a few minutes. I want to talk about radical acceptance. And I've talked about radical acceptance before. Radical acceptance comes from the Buddhist teachings. Okay? Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. And suffering is the result of not accepting reality as it is. When we beat ourselves senseless, railing against the injustice of it all, we are causing suffering for ourselves. When we try to fight against the inevitable, gravity wins. Right? I am not going to defeat gravity. I am not going to defeat age. When I try to keep myself youthful, right, I am inviting suffering. So the concept of radical acceptance is that we look at reality squarely. We figure out what we do and what we cannot do. And then we do what we can do when it's aligned with our goals, and we let go of the things that we cannot do. We let go of any emotion that is connected with railing against the injustice. If we cannot find a way, and we always can find a way to act against injustice, railing against us makes us suffer. Living in fear of it makes us suffer. The thing that makes radical acceptance so damn difficult, I think, for all of us is that it requires us to give up the illusion of hope. We cannot have hope of the thing that we desperately want. We can have hope. There is no safe place. The hope that we hang on to, that all of us learned very young, that there is a safe place someplace, that my dad is going to stop drinking, that I'm not going to get in trouble at school because I can't read. The hope that there will be something outside of ourselves that's going to make things better, that we can arrive at the safe place. In order to really have radical acceptance, we have to let go of that and realize that what we have is what's inside. Our security must come from within us, not from anything out there. From our own character, from our own beliefs, from our own relationships, from the choices we make and and the practices we engage in. Does that make sense? That false hope that we're going to be rescued. And that's one of the most difficult things that there is to do. But it will help. Okay. I want to take just 5 minutes and have you talk with some of the people around you about what's on your card, about the things that you might have already learned how to do and are practicing yourselves to help you survive in these difficult times. Just 5 minutes. We can continue this conversation, and I certainly hope you will, after the service. I have a new friend, Catherine, who's a fellow therapist. I only met her a couple of years ago when we were doing some training together, and I was talking to her about doing this service, and she said one of the things that she does is pray for our leaders. Well, that's right. Even those. I have a song by Marya Gauthier. We've done this once before. I really like it. That brings some of that same sensibility to what we're doing here. Mercy now.
Your generosity. May your gifts make a difference in our communities through the ministries of this church. Sorry, did I say that too fast? Thank you again. Now we'll sing our closing song. You know it. I'm going to walk it with you.
Our benediction today is by Lynn Bellamy. If here you have found freedom, take it with you into the world. If you have found comfort, go and share it with others. If you have dreamed dreams, help one another that they may come true. If you have known love, give some back to a bruised and healing world. Go in peace. And now, as we extinguish our chalice, please join me in saying the words printed in your order of service or on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now, if you will form a circle and hold hands. Sorry. It's always a pinch point over there. The flame of peace and love until we meet again. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again.
Namaste.
Okay,
That's nice.
thank you.
I love you.
Thank you.
You just healed 200. Or 100. Whoever